I'm back, obviously. Um, if you didn't know what happened, I got like a channel strike, and I guess I can talk about it a little bit. I don't want to say directly what I did because, I don't want to risk getting another strike. But I'll say like I have a lot of warnings because of my old like YTPs, which get flagged up because of the things they say. I might just take them all down, to be honest, because I don't want to risk something like that happening again, to be honest. But because if I get another strike, I can't post for like 2 weeks, and that just would be like a disaster, to be honest. But basically, what happened to me was I made a community post because something like really happened to me that like really pissed me off, and I made a community post where I was just complaining about it, and I said like something along the lines of, I can see how people like. This is the thing where I can't say the exact wording, but yeah, you can figure out what I said, right? And basically, I got taken down for cyberbullying and harassment or something like that, and I got a strike. So, but I'm back now, so I'll talk about. I might as well talk about what happened to me that pissed me off. So, what happened was I basically went out to the 24-hour slop shop that is kind of near me. It was very late. It was like midnight, I guess, when I went out. So it wasn't like super late, but it was late enough that everywhere else was closed. And this 24-hour slop shop is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I don't even know if they take like Christmas off. I've never seen them closed, so I had to go there. The thing is, I don't really like going there because it's kind of small, and usually they don't have what I actually need. What I needed was blue tack, 'cause I ran out of blue tack and I needed to stick some stuff up. So I went there to get some blue tack, and I was kind of looking around, just shelves looking for blue tack. I couldn't find any. They had like glue and stuff, and I was looking in that kind of area. But the thing is, it was pretty busy because it was midnight on like a Friday or Saturday night. I forgot what day it was. I think it might have been like a Saturday evening. And because it was like a Saturday evening and I had to go into town near where the slop shop is, all of the basically the degenerates are out, like all manner of people. I don't go out anymore. I haven't been out like on a night out for weeks at this point, because I have no one to go with. And really, like, even when I had someone to go with, like my roommates, I hated it either way. But if I didn't enjoy going out with other people, there's no way I'm going out on my own. And I don't know, it's just very depressing to go out. Like, I went out on my own a few times because I like tried to do it, and I would just like drink by myself, and it was just so depressing. It was just like, and boring as well. It was just terrible. Like, I might as well just be drinking in my room at that point. Do you know what I mean? But obviously, all these people were out in the town, and I'd kind of forgotten how like gross they are. Like, there's trash everywhere. There's like drunk people like running around and like literally falling over, like tripping over their own feet in the middle of the road and stuff, and just screaming and stuff really loudly. And like, if whatever you're imagining, like, it's probably worse. Like, it's really bad. And the thing is, like, because they're drunk, these people have no sense of social responsibility. They'll just come up to you, and the thing is, I really don't want people coming up to me. I don't want people talking to me. I was on a mission to get some blue tack. I was like in and out. That was my mindset. And anyway, I go into the slop shop, and there's this kind of queue in front of me. There's like a line for the till or the checkout, so I have to like wait in this line. And what my plan was I'd wait in the line and go up to them and ask if they had blue tack. And anyway, while I'm waiting in line, there's this. What I would have probably just left, to be honest, at that point, because I guess they probably didn't have it. But the thing is about the store as well is like the way it's set up is you have to go through the line to leave. Like, you can't just walk out the store really when it's busy. You have to like queue up to get out. It's very there's if there's two people walking down a corridor, like, it's a very small shop. Like I said, you have to like squeeze past each other. So I couldn't really just leave. I had to wait in this line. And anyway, there's these two guys in front of me, like they hype mog me to shit. They're like 6'4", 6'5", I guess. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. But they were really fat. One of them was fat anyway. But like kind of bulky fat. Like, he wasn't like a slob. He was like the kind of fat guy where like they could throw their weight around with you kind of thing. Like, he obviously, maybe he does rugby or something. He looked like that kind of guy who plays like football. Um, And anyway, I was just standing in the line behind them, and they were obviously like drunk, and they started arguing over something, and I wasn't paying attention. But the thing is, like, obviously I'm very non-confrontational, so I'm not going to say anything to these guys. I forgot to, yeah, as well, actually, I forgot, like, this fat guy like pushed in front of me just to stand next to his friend, which, I mean, it is what it is. Like, his friend's already in the line. I'm not like so mad about that, but like, he shoved past me to get to him. Like, he actually pushed me out the way, and like, obviously I'm not going to say anything, because like, I'm a fucking, like, what am I going to do? Like, what am I going to say? I'm very non-confrontational, very weak, whatever. But anyway, this fat guy is in the line in front of me, and his friend like goes away. I guess he like gets served. So this guy's just standing in front of me, and he turns around and he kind of looks at me, and I make eye contact with him, and I'm like, what? And he's like, he makes that kind of noise, and he just looks away. And then he looks down at my feet, and the thing is, I was wearing like boots. It was very cold. I was wearing like these kind of black winter boots. I mean, they weren't weird looking. I got them from when I used to work in retail. I used to work at this like medium-sized department store back like this time last year. Actually, I mean, I was working there when I made my channel. Or yeah, I did. I was like in my first ever video. I think I talk about that, but I had these like boots on, and this guy like looked down at them, and he looked back up at me like I was wearing like nothing on my feet or something, or like I had like a peg leg. He looked at me like I was crazy. Like he raised an eyebrow, and I was like, what? And he's like, what are you wearing? And I was like, oh, they're boots. I mean, it's cold. I don't know what you mean. And like the way I'm telling it makes it sound like I was very confrontational and like confident, but like I wasn't. Like my voice was probably very shaky and stuff. I want to make it clear, like I wasn't like some tough guy. Like anyway, this guy starts like laughing at this point, and like I know like he's probably really drunk, that's why, but he starts like really laughing, he like hysterically laughing, and he was like, what are you doing, man, what are you doing? So there was just like an empty space where the till was, and I was like, come on, what are you doing, go to the till. And anyway, this guy, like, I don't know if I should even say this, because I don't want people like finding this footage. I mean, they probably won't. I'm gonna say that's gonna come back to fucking bite me in the ass. But this guy like whips out his phone, he starts like recording me, and like at first I think he's just going to take a photo of my boots, which he's not welcome to do, might I add, but like that's a lot better than him filming my face and stuff. But he like pans the camera up and starts filming me, and he's like, what? And he's like laughing, he's like, look at this, man. And he's obviously going to send it to like his friends on Snapchat or some shit. Like, to be honest, people ask me, like my roommates only ask me if I had Snapchat, and I actually don't. Like I have like Instagram, which I don't use anymore, and obviously I have like YouTube, and that's like basically it. But like my roommates asked me like, oh, are you on YouTube, are you on Instagram? They didn't ask me if I'm on YouTube, but they were like, are you on Snapchat, are you on Instagram? And like I just said I'm not on anything, because like I don't really like want any kind of trace of these people like linking back to my YouTube channel. Like that's my fear. But the thing is, I'm actually not on Snapchat. Like I wasn't lying about that, and I've only ever got Snapchat once, which is like a few years ago, when I was in Australia. Because if you guys don't know, I have some family who live in Australia, and sometimes I go there to work, and I went there like 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago now, I don't know. And when I was there, my cousins like are both female, and they're like a few years older than me, and they, first of all, like I might add, they have like a body count of 40 men between them, and I know that because they showed me this list. This was back in July, like they came to visit, and because it was like my grandma's birthday, and it was like some big number, like 90 or something, so they came to visit, and they showed me this notepad document they had on their phone, and they kept lists each of every guy they like fucked, and they had like a little description and a rating and like emojis next to them, like what they did, and they were showing me these, and they were like explaining them to me, like we're not like first cousins. Like it was a bit weird, to be honest. And they were like, oh, like this one was a spit roast where we did this, and this one the guy like had a kid, and the kid walked in the middle of it, and all this crazy shit. And they're like 22 and 24, and people say, oh, you're just young, you're a young guy, it's not over for you. It's like, look at them, bro. And the people they're having sex with are probably like around the same age, so I mean, as if we needed proof it's over, I'm just saying. My point is, like, I don't use Snapchat, and to be completely honest, like, I'm not trying to insult anyone who's listening to this who has Snapchat, but I find that people who use Snapchat regularly tend to be kind of scummy people. Like, usually, like, it's just a very scummy app. Like, from what I can tell, it's just designed for people to like send nudes very easily, which, I mean, so it's basically just for Chads and Stacys, and yeah, I don't know. But this guy, I mean, I don't know he was on Snapchat. He could have just been, I kind of would prefer he's on Snapchat, because I'm pretty sure the video gets like deleted after it gets sent or whatever. But for all I know, this guy has a fucking video of me on his phone, and he could be like jerking off to that shit. I mean, somehow I doubt it, but you don't know. I mean, it's pretty weird. But like, in an ideal world, what I would do is I'd like smack the phone out of his hand, and I'd like beat him up, or I'd be like, hey, don't fucking do that or some shit. But of course, I'm just standing there meekly, like, oh, come on. Like, well, not super meekly, but I was like, oh, come on, what are you doing? Just come on, go to the till and stuff. Because the thing is, this guy's drunk as well. Like, I don't want him to like take offense, and like attack me or something. But I just don't want to escalate the incident. But like, when it's easy to think like, oh, when you're in this situation, you do this, but you just kind of go on autopilot, And it's kind of like in dreams, in dreams you don't really have control over what you do. Like, you do in a kind of weird way, but you're in the actual situation. So a lot of people are like, oh, well, if a guy came up to me and started filming me, I'd punch him in the face, I'd knock the phone out of his hand. But the thing is, like, you probably wouldn't, like, maybe you would, but I didn't, because I was in that situation. I certainly didn't. And I guess my point is just, like, you don't know what you're going to do in some situation until you're actually in the situation, and it just kind of shows who you are. And who I am is that I'm a meek, non-confrontational person who can't stand up to people and can't stand up for myself, and I get walked all over because of it, and that's kind of why I don't really want to go out. Anyway, that happened to me. I came home, I was really pissed off. They didn't have blue tack, by the way, so the whole trip was literally for nothing. I had to walk back to my apartment, with all these like harlots dancing around me, like screaming in the streets, like literally like it's like the peak of Rome, it's the peak of just hedonism, and like it doesn't like bother me that much anymore, because to be like completely honest, like I would be taking part if I could, I would be having hookups and doing drugs and stuff if I could, if I'm being completely honest. Like I don't want to, but the thing is, I know the only reason I'm not doing that is because I'm sub 5. Like all the chads do it, and all the sub 5s don't take part in this. And I see a lot of sub 5s cope with like, religion and stuff, and they're like, oh, you should lead a moral life, and it's like, it's true, you should, like this stuff is wrong, but at the same time, the only, you're not some great person, and I'm certainly not a good person because I don't participate in this, because I can't. It's not a choice, right? It's like, I'm not a great person because I don't walk into a bank and steal like $1 million. It's because I can't do it. Like if I could, I probably would, And the thing is, like, what are we doing as sub 5s? We're probably just going home and jerking off alone. That's not really any better, I don't know. And like, I just came home and I was really pissed off. I made this community post which I talked about, and then I got like a strike like 10 minutes later. So I don't know how many people saw that post. I'm sure some people did, but Bugman, I better not get another strike. If I get another strike, I'm gonna like have to appeal it. But the thing is, like, I think if you get a strike and you appeal it and it gets rejected, your like channel gets like shut down or some shit. I don't know, dude. I really don't know. Like, I've never been into YouTube for like a career kind of thing. Like, I've never wanted to like grow my channel, and like I have this, the studio app, the YouTube studio app, and like it says like, oh, you have a warning, you have a strike, whatever. And it's like, I just want to make my videos and talk, I don't want to have to worry about all this crap. Like, I don't want to monetize my channel or any dumb shit like that. Like, I don't care, and it was a headache because I was kind of worried like my channel was gonna get like taken away or deleted or some shit. Maybe my channel will get deleted. If my channel gets deleted, I'll probably move to like Daily Motion or something. I don't know, or like BitChute or I don't know what I can do. Maybe some people would follow me. Maybe I can make like a Pornhub account and post my videos on there. Who fucking knows? But anyway, the thing I really kind of want to talk about in this video is kind of going full on hikikomori. And I mean, everyone knows what this is by now, but I'll just explain it so everyone's on the same page, I guess. So a hikikomori is basically like, in Japan they have a bunch of young people, probably mostly men. I don't know that, but mostly young men, but all kinds of people, I guess, who are just shut-ins. Like they're NEETs, and obviously NEET stands for not in education, employment, or training, if you didn't know. And it's basically, they're like shut-ins. They're like, I mean, some people would say they're losers, which is probably technically true, but the thing is, I'm not technically a NEET because I am like technically enrolled in college, right? But the thing is, I stopped going to classes a long time ago, to be honest. Like, I do study, but I study from home and from my like apartment, because the thing is, all of the lectures get uploaded online, right? So there's really no reason to go to these classes. Like, and I weighed up the benefits and stuff, and I won't talk about it because it's pretty boring. But the thing is, like, I'll just say briefly, like, I have to walk to the lecture hall, I have to find a seat, I have to put on my glasses because I'm blind as shit. I can't see anything, so I have to wear my glasses and look like even more of an idiot than I already am. And sit in this hall where it's so echoey, like you can barely hear what they're fucking saying, and have some like guy who barely gives a fuck about what he's talking about try and teach me this shit. And then I have to walk back, and I get mogged by all these couples and all these chads in the frickin' lecture hall. And like, why would I do that when I can just be at home and watch the replay? And at this point, I don't even watch the replay. I just use my textbook, because the lecturers, they can't teach for shit. And they do, like, these people don't care. I think, university is a scam. It really is. Like, everything's online. All of my tests are online. All of my essays get handed in online. Like, I don't need to go anywhere, genuinely. Like, for university, I don't need to go anywhere. I can be a complete shut-in. Even the actual end of semester exams are online. Like, we have one in January and it's online. Like, and people are obviously going to cheat, and they just don't care. They're just like, well, if you want It's open book, is what they say. So basically, you can just look up the answers. And these are multiple choice tests, by the way. These aren't like different. You can just look up the answer or use an AI to figure it out, and it'll like it's a scam. It's a complete scam. It's not even a scam really. It's just like you show up and you pay, you take out this huge loan, thousands of pounds or whatever. You take out this loan and spend a couple of years doing some basic work, and they'll give you a degree which you kind of need to get a job. It's a system that puts you in debt basically to some like loan people. I mean, it's probably like not a good idea for me to go to university knowing that, but whatever. It wasn't really like my idea to go to university. Like, it was just my family like always expected me, and I didn't want to, but I didn't not want to either. Like, and this is the way I feel now. It's like I don't care. I really don't care about the direction my life goes in. Like, I'm at university. I don't know. Like, what am I going to do? Get a job? Like, most of the jobs that exist now probably aren't even going to exist in 10 years, so it's like, who cares? Like, I have a bunch of debt, I'll probably never pay it back, so it's like, who cares, might as well just spend it. And it's like, it's not a good situation to be in, but it's like, what's the alternative, And at the end of the day, I have more than most people. Like, I live by myself, like, I have an apartment, like, I don't have to live with my family anymore, which is good. Like, I can, cope in, to a decent degree, like, I can play video games and stuff, and I went through like a period in the middle of 2023 where video games just were not fun for me at all, and I'm kind of at the point now where they're not fun, but they're not fun either. Like, I'm just very apathetic to all this stuff, like, I don't dislike it, I don't like it, it just is what it is, that's how I feel. And like, maybe I could go to trade school, like, I've thought about that. Like, I had a meeting with my tutor who's meant to be like this guidance person, but the thing is, he's completely fucking useless. And I don't say that lightly, believe me, like, I get it, it's hard, like, being a teacher is hard, I understand that. And I'm not like giving someone shit when it's not warranted, but this guy is not good at his job at all. I really need to point, because I know everyone says it, like, oh, my teacher sucks, this guy, but this guy just, I do not say it lightly, but this guy is terrible at his job. And I was talking to him about my attendance, and he was like, oh, your attendance is really low, I keep getting emails from the school complaining that you're not going to class. And the thing is, like, when I do go to class, even then my attendance doesn't get counted. I'm pretty sure my attendance is 0% because you need to like go on the website on your phone when you're in the class and like sign in there and put in some code they have. But the thing is, you need a Wi-Fi connection to do it, or data, and like, I never have any data and I can't connect to the school Wi-Fi on my phone for some reason. So I told this guy, like, hey, I am going to these lectures, and I explained what I just said, and it's kind of like a half-truth. Like, it's not really true, but it's not a lie either. I don't know. I mean, it is a lie, but... And I took out my notebook, and I showed him, like, a bunch of notes I'd taken, at home from the textbook, and I was just like, hey, how would I make this if I wasn't going to class, basically? And he, like, fell for it. He was like, oh, fair enough, that's reassuring. So, yeah... But I don't know. They say, like, you have to report your absence on the website. It's so confusing. All this shit's so confusing. When I say they say, what I mean is like some random email. Like, I just get an email like one of those no reply emails, like no reply at gmail.com, whatever. Like, you need to cite on the website. We see your attendance is low on the website. You need to do this, and it's like I have a question, but I don't know who the fuck to talk to. I'm really lost. And we've had like at this point, I guess like 3 or 4 months worth of lectures, and in that time we've had probably 20 or 30 different like lecturers give us like classes, and it's like when you have like 25-ish people teaching you, like, you can't get to know any of these. I had less teachers in high school, like, I can't get to know these people, and my tutor, like I said, is completely useless. Like, he gave us this question the other day to write an essay on, and he showed up to like the next session and he had forgotten what the question was, and someone had to like remind him, and he's like, oh yeah, and he was like, oh, did you guys finish this essay? And no one had done it because the due date wasn't set, and he was like, oh, sorry, I forgot what the due date was. Like, this guy's fucking useless, he's like 60, he looks like Mr. Mackey, he's like completely useless. He's that, I've talked about him before in the past. But yeah, I guess I got to give an update as well on the Chang versus Jesse situation, because I talked about that in my last video. Basically, I have 2 roommates. I'm not even going to do this anymore because everyone knows, but yeah, I have 2 roommates, Chang and Jesse, and they had a fight the other day. Like 2 weeks ago now, actually, because I would have talked about this last week, but I got a strike, so I couldn't. Nothing's happened really. Like, what did I don't even remember what I mentioned. Like, I was in the kitchen and I was in the kitchen and Jesse showed me a bunch of messages Chang had sent him where they were like arguing in their DMs on WhatsApp, and like Chang had said he like, you know, he was like calling him gay. He was like, you like to dress up as like hentai characters because obviously like Jesse is like a cross-dresser and he paints his nails and weird shit like that. And he like Jesse showed me this like thinking I'd get on board, and I just don't really care, and I still don't. You know, Chang's left at this point. Like he left the apartment because everyone like goes home on the for the winter holidays or whatever for Christmas. Everyone leaves. Not everyone leaves, actually, that's not true. I think Jesse might actually be staying behind. I don't know that for sure, though. But, I mean, I would personally like to stay behind, but my family's made me come back, so, you know, what can you do? I mean, I don't hate my family. Like, I'm perfectly fine spending, like, 2 weeks with them, but it's just from a practical perspective as well. Like, I would probably be much rather at home. Because I know, I'll talk about that in my next video, I guess, but, like, I just know I'm going to have to go home and they'll like gaslight me a bunch and they'll ask me how it goes, and I have a bunch of like random relatives I barely see be like, how's university? And I have to be like, oh, it's good, you know, it's fine, I've made loads of friends, and I have to like lie and shit and put on this fucking act for 2 or 3 weeks. Like, I know they want me there from like Monday, which is today when I'm recording this on the 18th, all the way to like New Year and beyond. Like, they want me there for a long time, and it's like I don't know how long I'll last. I'll probably have a mental breakdown because like I've gotten used to living away from home as well. That's the thing. Like, I'll have to like reacclimatize to all my like sub 5 family's bullshit, to be honest. My family is full of fucking subhumans. It's so over. Like, just mental issues as well, and like just weird shit. Like all manner of weird Brit bug things. You know, it is a weird thing, and half of them aren't even related to me, to be honest. But whatever, which makes it kind of less brutal. I don't know, but most of the weirdest people probably are related to me. There's like my fucking schizophrenic like alcoholic uncle who like he like drinks really heavily, and he used to be like he used to work at a prison. Well, he wanted to join the Navy, but he couldn't because he's colorblind. They didn't let him in, so he joined like the police, and he became like a prison guard, and he got fired because he was like sneaking in like porn magazines to the prisoners, so they fired him. And then what he did, he bought like this like Nazi uniform, and he went on the Isle of Wight ferry, which, if you don't know, is like a ship that sails from the Isle of Wight, which is like an island near England. And he went on it, and he dressed up as like a Nazi, and he had like Mein Kampf with him and stuff. And he tried to like, I wasn't alive for this. I think my mum was like pregnant with me when this happened. This was like, you know, obviously like a while ago then. But I think like he tried to get into like the cabin of the ship or something, and he was like, this is what my mum's telling me, so if this is bull, I already know people are going to say, oh, it's bullshit, it didn't happen. Well, if it didn't happen, it's not I'm not saying it happened, but my mum just told me like he got arrested for impersonating a naval officer, apparently. Like, his life is kind of in shatters. He's married to this like really bloke-maxed woman, like this black woman, like probably genuinely, I'm not kidding, like might be the fattest person I've ever seen in person. Like, if you've seen like My 1,000 Pound Life or whatever that show's called, where there's like really fat Americans and shit, like, she's not quite that fat. Like, she can just about move about on her legs, but only just. Like, she's really fat, and they have a couple of kids, and his life is just so brutal. It really is. I don't know. That's probably one of the most like brutal like subhumans in my family. But that's the kind of people who are in my family, like just weird fucking people, and I've got to spend like a few weeks with these people. I don't know if he'll be there though. There's a very good chance he doesn't show up because like no one in the family really likes this guy because he is kind of an arsehole, to be honest. Yeah, Chang and Jesse. Anyway, nothing happened. Chang left. Chang went home to China. He like flew back to China the other day, and he actually lent me this book back in like October, I think, about Mao Zedong. And like, cause you know, I was reading it, and he asked for it back. He was like, "Hey, I'm going back, so can I have the book?" And I was like, "Yeah," I gave it to him. That's the only reason I know. That's the only reason I know he's going, because no one talks anymore. No one talks in the WhatsApp group chat. No one talks in the kitchen. No one really hangs out in the kitchen, to be honest. Like, the kitchen has this light on it that's like a sensitivity light, so if you move in the kitchen, it turns on by itself. And every now and then, when I go in the kitchen to get food or something, like the light's already on, so someone was in there recently. But I never see people really in the kitchen, and I'd guess the reason for that is people like want to get in and out as quickly as possible. You know, like Jesse and Chang, they don't want to hang out because there might be a confrontation. I'd guess. I don't know. Maybe that's because like they seem to want to fight and stuff. Like, they talk the talk, but I don't think they actually would do anything. But yeah, like, it's just very awkward. And the other day, like, Jesse, he put like an advert up on Snapchat, and like I said, I was talking about this earlier, but like, I don't know how Snapchat works, but I think there's like a local section you can put stuff up in. where you can like make a post and like people in the local area can see it. If that's not true, like it was something like that. I don't know. Maybe you guys will probably know more about it than I do. But he put like an advert up for our like apartment for someone to like come move in, because obviously there's like 10 rooms or something like that, and there's only 3 people living here, so there's like a lot of space. And he put this advert up saying like, hey, if anyone wants to like come move in, like there's space available. But the thing is, he didn't say anything to Chang or me about it. And the thing is, like, obviously he's not going to talk to Chang about it because they don't get along. But I just thought he'd at least say something to me, like, is this okay? And I'm pretty sure as far as the rules of the apartment go, like you're not really allowed to do that unless your like roommates approve of it. So we could totally say like, hey, we don't want people moving in, and it wouldn't be allowed. But I'm not going to do that, because the thing is, like, if Chang's going to do that, he'll do it himself. Like, there's no reason for me to make Jesse hate me when he could just do it himself. But anyway, but he didn't tell me. But the only reason I knew about it is because someone sent it to me. Like, someone was like, hey, is this you? And I was like, yeah. A day or two later, like, he came into the kitchen when I was in there, and he had his phone, and he like showed me this like thing he put up on Snapchat, and he was like, hey, I put this advert up, and some guy messaged me, some guy called Harry, and he's going to come round and like view the apartment and stuff, and it's like almost confirmed he's going to move in. And I was like, fine, whatever. Like, because the thing is, like, I don't really care if someone else moves in, as long as they don't bother me, as long as they keep clean, it really doesn't bother me. But apparently, according to Jesse, this Harry guy apparently didn't get on with anyone in his like apartment. Like, he'd moved into like a full one, and no one there liked him. And the thing is, when like I get being sub 5, I get the the subhuman effect, the Phalo effect. Like, I understand that. But the thing is, like, moving into an apartment with 7 other people and none of them like you, and then Jesse like reaches out to you and like knowing how Jesse acts, like, it was kind of a red flag to me, because I was like, this guy is potentially a scumbag, and he's gonna move in and like make a load of mess and stuff. But I didn't say any of that, and I told Chang about it. I was like, hey, this guy might be moving in, and Chang was like, oh, Jesse's probably gonna try and turn him against me and stuff, which maybe is true. Maybe that's why he put the ad up. I don't know, but that was like a week, 2 weeks ago, and since then, like, nothing's happened. So I guess this guy probably isn't moving in, or at least not this side of Christmas, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna be here much longer. I literally, like, I gotta record a bunch of fucking videos, because I gotta go home. My train leaves in like 6-7 hours. I gotta record like some videos and shit. But what I tried to do the other day is I tried to make like a cooking video where I cooked a Christmas dinner, and it went so badly. Like, that to be honest, like, that was a cope of mine for a while, like cooking, and like coping with cooking and coping with food. It's like, it's kind of like a hobby, and I was kind of enjoying it, even though like I sucked. But then I tried making this Christmas dinner, and like it just didn't work at all. Like, it completely sucked. And then I like put it all out on the table, and it didn't turn out how I wanted at all. Like, it was just a bunch of food, and I felt really like greedy. I felt kind of bad eating it, because the thing is, like, I'd envisioned like a bunch of people there, like it was like a full Christmas dinner, but then it was just me, and I didn't finish half the food because I see like it's way too much food. And I don't know, I'm kind of bloat max now after that, to be honest. And it was just a black pill, just sitting at the fucking table eating Christmas dinner by myself, and it's like, yeah, I am going home, I am gonna have Christmas dinner with my family, but it's like, I just wish I could have like a normal family to have Christmas dinner with, or just be by myself. But I can't have either of those. I have to like have this weird in between where I get the worst of both worlds. I don't know. Like, I do love my family. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to seem like a bad person, but I would be very happy on my own at Christmas, to be honest. Well, I wouldn't be very happy, but I would be more content than I am now. We'll see. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it.